Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. First time with a co-pilot here. We got Matt, who's checking out some cards for his combo deck, and he wanted to check this out live. It's great to have people back in store, I'll tell you that. We got Once Upon a Time starting out for Jan on 12 post, and he grabs a Mazavith, which could be very useful against Izzet Delver, or it could just end up being a brick. If he goes wide with Young Pyromancer tokens, that Mazavith won't even really be worth the land drop. Elvish Reclaimer comes down, and Matt may fight over this, as Reclaimer can essentially turn the entire mana base into Cloud Posts, which just creates a ridiculous amount of mana. Volcanic Island for a Forked Bolt, which can kill the Elvish Reclaimer while it's possible. The fact that that thing turns into a 3/4 is just crazy for 1 mana. Pithing Needle, naming Wasteland, and that's a big play, as that's one of Matt's primary tools versus 12 post to keep it in check. Young Pyromancer does come down, and now, what is this one? Abundant Harvest, I think it is. Do you know this one?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It's the new Strixhaven, and he reveals a Cloud Post. Yeah, the Mystical Archive. I believe that was the one card that was like a future shift of sorts. Like it was the only available printing until Modern Horizons 2. Which is going to shake things up big time. This will be our last batch of videos prior to Modern Horizons 2. Another Young Pyromancer arrives, and now all of Matt's instants and sorceries are going to create a pair of elemental tokens. Vesuva copying Cloud Post. Volcanic Island. A cantrip at the end of the turn. We'll turn this into a 3-turn clock. Or bolt.
Pretty good.
Even faster. So 6 damage at a clip. Jan may be able to extend things with Glimmer Post. Gaining 3 life for a land drop would not be unwelcome and would undo the damage of Lightning Bolt, but only partially, as these elementals just get added to the board. Now a Sprite Dragon as well. Once Upon a Time from Jan. I don't even know if this is the right timing for this, as it could have actually let Matt use a counter spell. I guess it's in response to the Sprite Dragon, so that's fine. It finds an Elvish Reclaimer, but everything's turning sideways, and Jan just has a turn to live. Glimmer Post. He now got a little bit more room. Elvish Reclaimer. Will Matt have the burn or an end of turn cantrip? What is this? Is this Golos?
Don't think so.
I don't know what this one is. It's a non-creature spell.
Apparently it was good enough.
Yeah, good enough to get Force of Negation and exiled, thanks to Force. Growing. Everything's turning sideways now. 10 damage total. Jan is at 10. He's going to have to block. And if Matt has burn, this is going to be on to the next one. So just an elemental token. And Elvish Reclaimer is now able to activate. What's he going to be able to do with this? All his dust would be devastating. We'll see. Perhaps he's running Geothermal Crevasse. Glacial Chasm.
Mm-hmm.
Geothermal Crevasse is a sack land from Invasion. Actually had a playset of Force of Wills once with Geothermal Crevasse written on the back of them. Somebody had proxied the common from Invasion on the back of their Force of Wills.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I imagine what happened is the guy probably just had his cards set up, and it was a nice feminine handwriting, so he probably asked his girlfriend to help do the proxies, and she just grabbed from the wrong pile. I would like to get those back. I've actually had them a few times. I've sold them into the wild, and they've come back to me multiple times over the years. What is Jan gonna do here? He is going to scoop it up, as he is not able to actually fight his way out of this. So Matt picking that up. Expressive Iteration, big new printing for Izzet Delver, 2 mana. I mean, we've tried all sorts of things to draw extra cards, and I feel like Delver really, really wants to have that kind of 2-for-1 card advantage. I mean, Gush was like the granddaddy of them all. That was the best when you could just use Gush in Delver-style strategies in Vintage. Was never really an option for Legacy, but I mean, it is super powerful. And just the ability to go up on a card when you've been trading 1-for-1 is just so strong. Things like Wasteland, you bolt their creature. Probably the most powerful variants on that were when Duress and to an extent once Thoughtseize was printed, the ability to like strip a card out of their hand and then get extra cards. So it's just like they literally end up with nothing and you end up with like 2 or 3 cards left in hand. That was super powerful. But Modern Horizons is going to shake everything up. Have you had a chance to see any of the spoilers for that?
I think so. I think one of the cards I'm the most excited for is Strike It Rich.
Strike It Rich, is that the one that makes treasures?
Yeah, 1 mana, make a treasure.
Interesting.
Flashback, 2 and a red, make a treasure.
Yeah.
I play Modern Storm, and I think it enables turn 2 wins, because you just go land, play the spell, make a treasure.
Interesting.
Turn 2, play a land, Baral, Ritual and Metamorphose.
Off to the races. Yep. Yeah, very interesting.
It enables a turn 2, which I'm very excited to test the card. I mean, that and also Ragavan. I think that's going to be CDH All-Star in my Mardu farm list.
Yeah, I think the Pirate Monkey is going to run rampant in Izzet Delver, and it's probably going to put a little bit of a premium on the removal slots to make sure that you can clear stuff out of the way. Mm-hmm. I played against it at the pre-release. It was very, very strong. They had turn 1 Ragavan, turn 2 the Rakdos Showstopper, I think it is, the 3/3 haste. So I ate 5 damage on the second turn. That was pretty good. Tabernacle here for Yon. Now, 12 Post is going to get a great new tool in Yavimaya. That's going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
The deck is going to be super happy to run that card. Allowing things like Tabernacle to tap for mana is just really strong. And so, Warping Whale?
Look like a Thought Knot Seer? Probably not. I'm probably wrong on that.
I think this is... Boy, it looks like Warping Whale to me. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, he has only 2 mana, so...
Yeah, there's like two different Eldrazi cards. One of them makes a 1/1 and counters, and the other one just gives -3. Either way, whichever one that was for Yon, he does take out the Young Pyromancer before too much more damage is done, and now we've got another Pithing Needle. The first one was naming Wasteland, and he's going to double up. It's that much of a concern that if a Braid or some type of artifact destruction shows up, he wants to make sure that that Wasteland does not get unlocked, particularly because Matt has 2 on board.
I think that's actually a pretty interesting move, but I think that's actually pretty smart. I think that's something that I actually overlooked.
Yeah, the redundancy can feel bad at times, but when they draw that Braid and you just get totally unraveled because you have some fringe card, or maybe you go after like a fetch land or something, and here we go, Dark Depths. You need an answer for a 3/3 flyer. How about a 20/20 flyer? Oh, and it happens to be indestructible. Though the main thing to worry about there would be petty theft. I'll tell you, Brazen Borrower, I believe it's actually the most played creature in Legacy right now by percentage of decks that it's in. Now, it doesn't get played as a 4 of, like Delver of Secrets and Thalia and stuff, so that does change it. But in terms of the likelihood of playing a deck with a creature, I think it's actually the most prevalent creature in the format right now.
I think Brazen Borrower is wonderful. I mean, just being able to bounce anything back to their hand and then even if it's like 3 turns later, just flash in a 3/1.
Absolutely. Oh, Daze able to deny... As both Tabernacle and Dark Depths do not tap for mana. 3 more damage coming through. Will Yon find the Thespian stage? It's what he needs here. That will find a Thespian
Yeah.
stage.
Ooh.
KO'd. Not a big enough butt yet. He needs more lands in the graveyard. Those wastelands could easily make that happen, but that has not been the case so far. I've had a blue-green build of Cloud Post that I did enjoy running Euro. That guy does a lot of work. You also get to run Brainstorm in it. Now Sprite Dragon has shown up. More damage coming in. Jan has a turn, maybe 2 to live. I would not count on it. Glimmer Post would be welcome. Gaining 3 life would not be the worst here. He is facing down 4 damage right now. Crop Rotation.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Oh, and it gets Force and Negationed.
Ouch.
So he lost the Dark Depths, and now a Glacial Chasm. Letting go of the Tabernacle. And he's going to be able to keep this around for a couple of turns.
What's the cumulative upkeep cost on that?
2 life.
2
so
life,
it's gonna be 2 life, and there's some tricks you can do with cards like Vesuva and Thespian Stage to make them copies of Glacial Chasm, which may come into play here. We'll see if Jan has anything tricky or if he's just going to be able to hide behind this card. Down to 3. So on the next turn, he'll need to let it go. And here, the Elvish Reclaimer would be very happy to sacrifice Glacial Chasm to find a way toward victory, but we'll see if that's possible. That 6 damage waiting to come in. Matt probably looking for Bone Crusher Giant. That does get around Glacial Chasm, as Glacial Chasm just prevents the damage, and Bone Crusher Giant wants nothing to do with that. That card's brutal. Probably one of the cooler things I've seen there is with True Name Nemesis. If they block, you can kill their creature with a Bone Crusher Giant, and then True Name dies to whatever it was blocking as the damage is no longer prevented. So during the upkeep...
Yeah, I once learned that one the hard way.
Yeah, no, it is a...
Never forgot it after.
It is a surprising line of text when it goes wrong. So Jan gaining some life, gains 3, pays 4.
God, crop rotation on a stick is so good.
It really is.
I think it's one of the most underrated 1-drops. It's unbelievable. It does so much work.
It does, and that's actually a card I rarely spec on cards, but I did buy like 20 Elvish Reclaimers at one point when a store had them like on sale for like $1. I was like, there's no way this card's not going to go way up. And I was just having a hard time keeping it in stock anyways. But yeah, that card has just obvious power level. I mean, crop rotation's already insane, and then you're tossing it on a body, which is potentially a 3/4 for 1. I mean, it is surprising that the community wasn't like more enamored with the card because it's got so much good stuff going on. Now we see the shields go down for a second, and Bolt just finishes it. Just like that, Matt picks up the second game. Well, thank you, Matt, for joining us for this one.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And we will see you on the next one.
Take care. Okay.
That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.
Oh, that's so cool.